you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order on November 18, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. the Canton Township Board of Trustees regular board meeting. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
If anybody wants any cookies, feel free to come up and get some. Hey, Clerk Segers, can you please take roll call?
Yes. Trustee Ansari.
Good evening.
Trustee Foster.
Good evening.
Trustee Ganguly.
Good evening.
Trustee Borninski.
Good evening.
Treasurer Slavens.
Good evening.
Supervisor Graham
Good
Hudak.
evening.
And let the record reflect that Clerk Segrist is in attendance.
Thank you. Can I please have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Madam Supervisor, I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by 3 people. Trustee Ganguly. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Do we have any presentations, recognitions, or formal resolutions? No. Now, we do have next a public hearing and adoption of fiscal year 2026 budget. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Supervisor, I move to open the public hearing on the adoption of the fiscal year 2026 budget.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Borninski. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Hi, Amanda. Amanda's going to give us a little summary. Our financial department.
Can you hear me? Are we good? Can you hear me?
I'm going to need to speak a little bit louder, probably a little closer.
How's that? Can you? Okay. All right. So on the 21st, the board had a study session where we discussed the 2026 and the 2027 budgets. At that meeting, there was a fair discussion about state shared revenue and potential changes. We did adjust since that time, which we had talked about, $500,000. We increased state shared revenue. So that increased our state shared revenue to $11,077,000. At this time, the 2026 general fund budget is $43,170,569. Police is $34,414,960, and fire is $25,981,376. The property taxes for the 2026 budget are based on the 12/31/2024 taxable values. The property tax rates were set at the public hearing that was held on September 9th. This 2026 budget does include pre-funding for OPEB and pension, as we discussed, and there have been no adjustments to capital that was presented at the 21st study session.
Do we have anyone who want to give some comment regarding the budget in the audience? How about online? If you want to make a comment for this during this public hearing on the budget, please raise your hand electronically. We have one attendee. Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Madam Supervisor, I move to close the public hearing.
By Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Any board comments on the 2026 budget? Comments or questions for Amanda?
I'll just say, having a study session where the bulk of the information is presented and gone through in depth by every individual division and department makes the public hearing much, it facilitates a seamless public hearing and makes the approval of the budget super easy with no need for additional comment from me.
Right. Right, thank you.
Just optically, if you didn't know that we had a study session and for a couple of hours working on the budget, it might look like we're approving the 2026 budget with little to no thought. So,
That's true. It's 3-hour, but it was a 3-hour meeting, I believe.
yeah. Gins Island. So, Madam Supervisor, I move to approve resolution number 222025-38, public hearing and adoption of the fiscal year 2026 budget.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Okay, now we have the Board and Commission report, the Youth Advisory Council. First, we're going to do a swearing in.
We did a swearing in at the previous meeting, but we've been able to get the remaining members here. So if you want to meet me up front, we'll do the swearing in.
When you're done, you can have some cookies.
More.
Should we take a picture with them? Come on, team. You guys stay where you are, and the board's going to come up over here behind them. Chairs are all, we have a lot of chairs up here today. There you go. You. Good job.
Congratulations.
Borrow your pen.
They had some.
Just for a brief.
All right, thank you. Now we'll have public comment on agenda items. Any public comment on agenda items? Please come to the podium. Oh, I'm sorry, you have a report to give. I'm sorry. Correct. Youth Advisory Council will give us a report.
Hello, can you hear me?
A little bit closer.
Can you hear me now? Is this good?
Yes.
Okay. So we will be having a fundraiser for our endowment. It's going to be a volleyball and pickleball style tournament. Some other updates are we'll be presenting at the Youth Driven Space Conference, and we also appointed new leadership to the Partnerships with Arts and Commission for Arts and Culture and the Leisure Services Advisory Council. We met on the first Monday of October and November, and in our December meeting, we'll be planning our 6-year strategic plan. Those are all the updates for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions or comments? Yeah, please keep us apprised of everything that's going on. I appreciate it. Sounds like you got a great start this year. Thank you. All right, so public comment on agenda items. Nothing in the room. All right, attendees online, public comment on agenda item. Seeing none. Now we have, I need a motion to approve the minutes for October 21st and October 28th.
So moved.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Borninski. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Treasurer's report and payment of bills.
Madam Supervisor, I motion that we pay the bills.
Support.
Motion made by Treasurer Slavens, supported by Trustee Foster. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Now we have the consent calendar.
Madam Supervisor, I move that the board adopt the consent calendar as presented. Item C1, request approval to renew Crown Castle Internet Service contract. C2, consider awarding ThorGuard with a purchase order to provide and install a lightning detection system for Independence Park. C3, consider award of contract to Bridgedair Contractors Incorporated for the 2025 Water Main Capital Improvement Project. C4, request approval of payment for annual software license fees to CarryWorks for the on-base document management system. C5, consider approval of a purchase order and contract award for a construction management firm to Township revitalization projects. C6, consider authorizing a renewal of Civic Plus LLC for Civic Rec program registration software. And finally, item C7, consider authorizing the purchase of a Toro turf sprayer for Fellows Creek Golf Course.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Borninski. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item G1, consider increasing the purchase order to PI, Partners in Architecture for architectural design, bid docs, engineering, and owners representation for the Western Wayne Building.
Madam Supervisor, I move to increase the purchase order for the contract with Partners in Architecture for architectural design, engineering, bid documents, and owner's representation for the Western Wayne Building renovations.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. On October 9, 2023, Canton Township awarded a contract to PIA for renovations to the vacant Western Wayne Building located at 44582 Geddes Road to allow other community service organizations like GrowthWorks to occupy the premises. These services will enhance the quality of life for many Canton residents and continue to offer services that are currently being offered in other areas of the township. With collaboration of GrowthWorks, the original scope of the project has increased due to operational and functional needs of GrowthWorks. So, Director Norwood, do you want to add anything?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I don't have anything other to add, other than what GrowthWorks has been a good partner, and we're looking forward to this project based upon the scope we have, and looking forward to a great partnership as we go forward.
If I may, and I didn't think about this prior to the meeting, but due to my role on the board of GrowthWorks, this is, is this an item where I should request recusal, do you think? And I did make the motion, so I would request that I retract my motion and that somebody else make the motion. And then I would request the board entertain allowing me to recuse myself from this item. So I'll make the motion to recuse myself. Well, I can't even vote on that.
Support. Okay, I'll motion.
Madam Supervisor, I move to recuse Clerk Segrist from this G1.
Support.
Motion made by Trustee Borninski, supported by Trustee Foster. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
So, Madam Supervisor, I motion to increase the above referenced purchase order for the contract with Partners in Architecture for the architectural design, engineering, bid documents, and owner representation for the Western Wayne Building.
Support.
Motion made by Treasurer Slavin, supported by Trustee Borninski. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So does our, YAC, do you have any questions on this one at all? Our YAC team? No? So does anyone on the board have any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you. G2, Consider authorization of increase to purchase order for Manick and Smith.
Madam Supervisor, I'm on the board of Mannequin Smith, so don't worry about that. I move to approve an increase to a purchase order to Mannix and Smith Group Incorporated in the amount of $145,150 for the design and consulting services for the intersection of Sheldon and Palmer. Additionally, I move to approve the required budget amendment.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Amari.
Ansari.
Ansari, Amari Ansari. Amara Ansari. Very good. In 2023, the Township Board awarded the intersection improvement design for Sheldon and Palmer Roundabout to MSG. That work began and the design is nearly complete. The construction schedule was pushed back to 2027 after engineering services secured a CMAQ grant for construction from SEMCOG. The CMAQ grant will cover 100% of the construction costs, but it does create some additional design efforts. Additionally, as we've moved through the permit application process with Wayne County, there have been added efforts required, which include designing a replacement gabion wall and guardrail on Sheldon Road, Wayne County permit application fees, roundabout design defense, and Mott Drain easement dedication. The requested increase is $145,150 for this additional work. This PO is required to fund the additional design. Director Norwood, do you have anything to add?
Yes, thank you, Madam Supervisor. I should note that CMAQ stands for congestion mitigation and air quality, so this qualifies for the roundabout qualifies for that. It's going to help with the air quality again.
Okay, does our YAC team, you have a question?
Yes. How long is the construction project estimated to last, and will this change the school busing schedule to and from schools?
Oh, into response, we're going to do the project during when school is out, and it's not going to impact the school busing.
It might, in terms of the scheduling after it's built, we'll have to work with the school district on that. Right, I mean, they'll have to.
They may have to train on rotaries or roundabouts, but I think they'll be okay. Yeah.
Going to improve the efficiency of that intersection.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G3, consider awarding ACOM a contract and PO to assist with Township Safe Streets for All.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve the contract and purchase order for AECOM in the amount of $496,800 to assist in the creation of the Township Safe Streets for All, or SS4A, action plan and the necessary budget amendment.
Support. Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. The United States Department of Transportation Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A grant program was established in order to support and provide funding to regional, local, and tribal initiatives through grants to prevent roadway fatalities and serious injuries. In 2023, the township applied for funding and received a federally awarded grant in the amount of $396,800 in order to contract a firm to support in the creation of a Safe Streets for All action plan. After proposals were solicited, ACOM was selected to assist the township to create a plan that complements ongoing initiatives to develop a safer and more accessible transportation system for all users and modes of travel, while serving as a framework for future infrastructure investments such as addressing sidewalk gaps. The federal award number awarded to Canton from a grant application for $396,800 in the use of $100,000 of local funds for a total eligible project cost of $496,800. Director Norwood, do you want to add anything?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. As some of you may know, this project has some long tails. We originally applied for these dollars through utilizing our sidewalk gap plan that we have. That was not accepted, so we applied again and to get the planning side of this grant. And so that's what we're doing to eventually get infrastructure dollars to work on our gaps. So this is the first step.
Our YAC team have any questions?
I have a question. Is this coming out of the roads fund or is this coming out of general?
No, this will be out of the monies that are dedicated to sidewalk gap.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You can ask, we usually ask at the end, let's see. You can ask at the end, it's okay. We have a public comment at the end.
Yeah, as a rule, we have rules of where we have public comment in the beginning, public comment at the end, and so there's not an opportunity for the public to ask questions during the meeting. It's a small meeting, but in the fairness and treating people the same, because we enforce it at larger meetings, we have to do it all the time. So it might feel weird, but we have to. Sorry about that.
Thank you, thank you. Any questions come from the board? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. C5, consider first reading of public trees and woodlands ordinance. I'm sorry, C4. Consider authorization of a purchase order to Spalding to
G4.
Decker.
G4.
G4. G4. Thank you. For professional services for the residential road improvement program, which you guys saw a presentation of a couple weeks ago.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve a purchase order contract for the 2026 Residential Road Improvement Program to Spalding to Decker Associates Incorporated in the amount of $794,750 and to approve the required budget amendment.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. 2018, Canton Township passed the road millage and retained Spalding to Decker through a competitive bidding process to handle the residential program. SDA also serves as a program consultant. Canton Township has now successfully completed 7 years residential road millage projects with Spalding to Decker, and based on their performance, engineering services recommends retaining SDA in the amount of $794,750 to perform the design and construction engineering services for the 2026 Residential Road Improvement Program. Director Norwood, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I do not have anything on this item.
YAC team have anything to add? No? Questions from the board? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just kind of curious that we're moving money from the fund balance. This is the roads? This is the roads fund,
roads fund
right?
balance, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I don't know if anybody saw, but they had a report today of the top 20 most dangerous intersections in Michigan, and Canton did not make it.
For the first time in what, 20 years?
That's right, that's right. So our roads we're improving things out there.
Wouldn't know it by some of the.
I know. Right, right. We have to drive more careful, but there's no major issues right now. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. C5, consider first reading of public tree and woodland ordinance.
Madam Supervisor, I move to introduce and hold a first reading of the proposed public tree and woodlands ordinance as provided in the attached ordinance, which amends Chapter 34, Environment, of the Code of Ordinance of the Charter Township of Canton by creating Article 4, Sections 34-81 through 34-100 for public trees and woodlands.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. Tree City USA is a national program created in 1976 by the Arbor Day Foundation and supported by the U.S. Forest Service that recognizes and supports urban forestry. There are more than 3,500 recognized Tree City USA communities across the country and 120 in Michigan. At its meeting on March 25, 2025, the Canton Township Board of Trustees adopted a motion to pursue Tree City USA designation, and an ordinance that defines standards and authority for public trees is required for that designation. Canton has had an active public tree program for decades, and the attached ordinance satisfies the requirement and ensures the protection of Canton's investment in public trees and woodlands. Applications for the current round of Tree City USA designation can be submitted through December 31st, 2025. Director Norwood, do you want to add anything?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I know we had some internal discussions earlier about some of the sections in ordinance that we will be changing about allowing folks to do decorations on public trees, because we know that happens in reality. And also, there's some cleanup, some housekeeping things there's some references to different articles in there that will not be in the final ordinance that we'll bring at the second reading. And also, Zach Michelle's from Planning Division is here also, who has been leading this effort for the township. He could answer questions too. Thank you.
Zach or Patrick, do you want to add anything?
Mostly here for questions. As mentioned, there are a couple of cleanup items, and we have an amendment to make, but this will be one of the last things that Canton needs to do in order to qualify for Tree City USA. It has been reviewed by the Michigan DNR Urban Community Forestry folks who administer the program, and they've said we're good with what we've got here.
What were some of the updates we made?
Yep.
Tech team have any questions? No?
Yeah, a question, Zach. What is it called when the bark is removed around the circumference of the tree?
Girdling.
Can we add that to our definition of girdling to include that as well as the root girdling?
Yes.
Okay, I just know sometimes kids like to, and adults like to play with bark, especially like paper birches.
Yep.
Thank you.
I just want to express gratitude to planning, Zach, for allowing Canton Nature Society to take a look at the ordinance as well. So it was really helpful to get that out to some of the members of the community to look at, and appreciated the collaborative, open dialogue about the ordinance.
And then there's a second part to this, which we'll bring to the board at a different time, but this is just basically the ordinance. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. C6, consider corrections to future land use map of the master plan.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve resolutions number 2025-39, 2025-40, and 2025-41 to adopt the corrected future land use map shown as draft number 7 as final and to be included in Canton's Vision for Tomorrow, a comprehensive community master plan.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Brunensky. In July 2025, after the adoption of the Canton Township Master Plan 3, minor errors were discovered in the adopted future land use map that were not previously included in the draft maps that were prepared by Canton GIS staff and used for review and discussion with Planning Commission, Board of Trustees, and public distribution. The 3 errors on the future land use map consist of 1 error in the legend, 1 error in the table, and 1 error on a township-owned property near the Lower Rouge River. After consultation with legal counsel, it is determined that the errors and subsequent corrections are minor and do not negatively or unfairly impact properties. At its meeting on November 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission held a public hearing and recommended adoption of the corrected future land use map provided. No public comments were received at the public hearing. Director Norwood, do you want to add anything?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I don't have anything to add, but Community Planner Patrick Sloan is also here to answer any questions.
Patrick, do you have anything to add?
Nothing else to add, but happy to take any questions.
Summer, do you want to add anything about the Planning Commission?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Zaryak, any questions? Any questions from the board or comments?
Yeah, so this error was in the materials that were provided by the contractor.
That's correct.
Have they been contacted?
We've notified them that there are errors, and we decided at this point to fix those internally and just make the changes ourselves. And in doing so, we did a full QA, QC of the entire future land use map to uncover anything that's known, which resulted in 1 or 2 other areas to include in the fixes.
Okay. I guess I'm wondering if, since I assume we had to pay legal counsel to look this through, or was it our internal legal?
We had discussed with Foster Swift.
Foster Swift? Okay. Any thought of asking for some money back to get that paid for?
Hours it took, or?
I don't. We can look that up.
Yeah, we'll discuss that internally, see if we'll pursue that, yeah. But
Okay.
it's probably worth asking, yeah,
Yeah.
at least, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G6, no, G7. Consider first reading of amendment to Appendix A, zoning of the code and ordinance for zoning board of appeals membership.
Madam Supervisor, I move to introduce and hold the first reading of the proposed amendments to Appendix A, zoning of the Code of Ordinances, the Charter Township of Canton, as provided in the attached ordinance, which amends Section 28.04B, Zoning Board of Appeals membership.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Foster. For many years, the membership of the Zoning Board of Appeals has consisted of 5 regular members and up to 2 alternate members. The Michigan Zoning Enabling Act requires a ZBA to have at least 5 regular members and up to 2 alternate members. The Act requires a number of ZBA members to be specified in the zoning ordinance, and a municipality may have more than 5 regular members. Due to strong resident interest in serving on the ZBA, we recommend amending Section 28.04B of the zoning ordinance to increase the regular membership of the ZBA to 7 members. At its meeting on November 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission held a public hearing on the proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance and adopted a motion to recommend approval. The introductory sentence of the zoning ordinance states, B, membership. The zoning board of appeals shall consist of 5 regular members and 2 alternate members, as outlined below. We recommend amending the sentence as follows. Added what is underlined. So it says, membership, the board of appeals shall consist of 7 regular members and 2 alternate members, as outlined below. At its meeting on November 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission voted 8-0 to recommend approval of the amendment to the zoning ordinance to amend Section 2804B to increase the number of regular members of the Zoning Board of Appeals from 5 to 7 as stated in the attached ordinance proposal. Director Norwood, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I don't have anything to add, but Community Planner Patrick Sloan's here to answer any questions, too.
Patrick, do you have anything to add?
Nothing else to add, but happy to answer any questions.
YAC team, anything to add? No? Questions? Summer?
Just make a brief comment. Trustee Borninski and I interviewed, about 16 people for Board of Appeals. So some of those nominations are coming up. But we thought with a community of our size, it would be great to expand membership to the ZBA. Also, we look at ZBA as kind of like a feeder board for the Planning Commission. So would love to get more people engaged in ZBA. So we have qualified folks for planning later on.
A lot of very talented people in our community.
I'll just add that I agree totally with Trustee Foster, and boy, do we have some talent in our community. It's awesome. It's an awesome problem to have. And, I think that, if there's any problem with scheduling or anything, we're going to be okay because we expanding this and plenty of people to serve. And we had 2 boards that would work to, and now maybe we can have 3.
Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item G8, request approval to purchase upgrades for ITI Training Room Phase 2.
Madam Supervisor, I move to waive the township's request for proposal purchasing policy requirement and approve the purchase of ITI training room equipment in an amount not to exceed $27,000 from MDIS.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. In April 22, 2025, the board approved the acquisition of a new training room furniture for the ITI training room. Those updates have been made and highly successful. successful, enhancing the overall learning experience, optimizing room utilization, and fostering effective collaboration. ITI is now seeking approval to purchase additional equipment to further upgrade the training environment and continue improving the learning experience. Director Begbu, do you want to add anything?
First of all, I want to say thank you again to the board. Thank you, Madam Supervisor, for the support so far with regards to upgrading this room. This room has been one that's heavily utilized, and over the years, it's been beat down, worn out, and, you know, I was about to say discarded, but it's not discarded. We're reviving it. So we're trying as much as possible to bring the room from 19th century to 21st century. And that's really what we're doing. We first of all tackle the hardware, the equipment that is in the room, or rather the furniture that is in the room. Now we're dealing with the equipment that is in the room to make sure that the room is very much conducive for the increased number of training that we undertake here in the township.
Thank you. Does our YAC team, no questions there? The board have any comments or questions?
I'll just make a quick comment. I know many of the departments, my department, both water billing and treasury, has used a training room, and it's utilized all the time, so
Thank you.
upgrade.
Anyone else? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G9, establish Board of Trustees meeting days for 2026.
Madam Supervisor, I move to establish the Canton Township Board of Trustees meeting schedule for the year of 2026 as follows. The Township Board shall meet on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Tuesdays of each month in regular session, excluding January 27th, February 3rd, March 10th, April 21st, May 12th, May 26th, June 9th, June 16th, August 4th, August 18th, October 6th, November 3rd, December 1st, December 22nd, and December 29th, and to approve the closure of the administration building on January 2nd, 2026, on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Tuesdays of the Township Board shall meet in a work or study session at 6 p.m., and all other meetings shall be at 7 p.m. Establish May 19th as a regular meeting. Meetings are normally held in the Board of Trustees meeting room of the first floor of the Charter Township of Canton Administration Building, 1150 Canton Center South, Canton, Michigan. Meetings may be canceled based on the needs of the township. All adjustments to the schedule are to be posted individually on the Canton website as well as posted on the announcement boards at the Township Administration Building.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. In accordance with the open, I'm sorry, can I have a motion and support? Okay. Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act and the Charter Township Act, the Township Board of Trustees is required to establish and post a schedule of board meetings for the calendar year. Additionally, in previous years, the township has closed around the winter holidays to allow employees to rest and recharge. The township is already closed on Thursday, January 1st. It is being proposed to close the administration building on Friday, January 2nd, and grant employees one extra PTO day that they will be required to use on January 2nd. Those who are unable to take the time off due to the nature of their position will be given an alternate day off or credited with 1 day of PTO to be used in accordance with the administrative guidelines which will be provided to employees should the board approve this RBA. Comments? Anyone else? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G10, authorization of appropriation for emergency community food assistance program.
Madam Supervisor, I move to authorize an appropriation of up to $10,000 and any necessary purchase orders from the Township's contingency fund to establish an emergency community food assistance program to operate a food pantry in the basement of the Canton Administration Building with unspent funds to revert to the general fund at the end of the year.
Support.
Made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Foster. It is recommended the Township Board authorize the appropriation of up to $10,000 from the contingency fund to establish and operate an emergency community food assistance program in the basement of the Canton Administration Building. This action represents Canton Township's commitment to ensuring that no resident, particularly no child, goes hungry as a result of the failure of higher levels of government to maintain essential food assistance services. Due to the recent federal government shutdown and the resulting disruption of the SNAP program, thousands of residents across Michigan, including Canton Township, were facing potential food insecurity. The Michigan legislature indicated it is unable to fully fill the gap created by the reduction or delay of SNAP, which created an urgent need for local action to ensure residents have continued access to food. Hunger has long been a national challenge, even before the current disruption. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, approximately 1.3 million Michiganders relied on SNAP benefits, including over 450,000 children. Notably, more than 1 in 3 SNAP recipients in Michigan are individuals who work full-time, underscoring that food insecurity affects both unemployed and employed households alike. Even prior to the government shutdown, the social safety net was insufficient to fully address hunger in America. Many families and individuals already relied heavily on nonprofit organizations, faith-based groups, and local social service agencies for food assistance. However, with the current instability of the federal program, demand for emergency food assistance is reaching a crisis level both statewide and locally. Michael, do you want to make any more comments? This one's from your...
I mean, that's I think the description handles it. That's very verbose. I wrote that, which is common for me, and you delivered it eloquently. I will answer any questions.
So I am just going to throw this out there that I think that we should do this every year.
I just want to acknowledge the people that have donated food to the pantry already. I saw online yesterday that we've been able to help 49 families in this township. I think that's incredible. Folks coming together to fill a need that some of our elected officials are playing games with. But I'm grateful for everyone who's donated and contributed so far.
Anya.
Yeah, I concur with Summer. I really wanted to thank the people in the community who came out and donated to the pantry, including including our employees. So it's I'm glad that we are doing this. We are adding to this and allocating some money because especially during the time of the holidays and food insecurity is a real crisis in this country. So thanks, everybody, and I'm glad we are doing this.
Thank you. Amara?
Yeah, so I think it's great that we're coming together to do this, especially as we're hitting the colder winter months. And it's unfortunate that we're even having to do this in the first place. But I do want to thank partners who have just decided to join with the township. That includes MCWS Mosque, that includes Mecca, and that also includes the Gurdwara Singh Sabha on Canton Center Road. And there are potentially a few more partners who are going to be coming our way to support us during this time. I'm even getting my friends who are outside of Canton, whenever they want to come visit me, I'll be like, bring food, and you can go to Costco with your friends, make a trip out of it, do what you can to support community. So yeah, thank you.
I'll just briefly thank from the supervisor's office, Christine Ferkalo, from Leisure Services, Emma DeCesari. Oh, it's a new name. It's a new last name. DeChettere. I was way off. That wasn't close. You were being very charitable. The two of them, to quote somebody earlier this week, I don't know you could find two people with bigger hearts to take on this effort, and they're really quarterbacking the running of the food pantry in the basement and doing an amazing job. They're supported by a lot of other amazing employees in Canton Township as well, and so my gratitude extends to them. And then also the CERT team has been activated, and they are supporting the food pantry as well. And they are really taking an amazing role and ownership over doing something we've never really done before. And so it's pretty cool to see all hands on deck and the support. And we had a church, Life Church, reached out today and indicated that they are doing a food drive and they want to donate food too. So like it's really great to see the community stepping up too.
I want to concur with everything everyone has said. Thank you to the employees so much and the volunteers. They've been great. I don't know if people realize the average amount a SNAP recipient gets is $5.86 a day, and live on. And so this is supplemental. It's helping folks as food rises. This is going to help them a lot more. We have seniors coming in, and we have young the multitude of people that are really in need. And so I'm really happy that Michael brought this up, and we all jumped on board and decided to do this. And it's great to have so many residents come and folks donating food and volunteers helping out.
So I didn't get to thank everyone. I actually came in last Monday and with a large donation from another organization I belong to, and brought it downstairs to where the food pantry is. And I was amazed at how much was already there, which was awesome. Of course, more is needed, but just to see the outpouring from the community was wonderful, and our staff really seemed to be stepping up and really, proud to be a part of it. So I appreciate everyone's help.
We just had two questions. Our first was, are there any ways the members of YAC can support this initiative or volunteer and get involved? And then our second is, what is the process in place for how families can access this resource?
So you can definitely have food drives. A lot of people are having food drives to help. And sometimes, just to let everybody know also, we have something called Local Impact Alliance. We've partnered with them. If people just want to give monetarily, they can go to Local Impact Alliance, and that we're working with them with a local Hope fund they established, and that's for basic human needs. And within that fund, they can choose giving food, which they'll give us the money and we purchase, or emergency transportation, other, or rental assistance, and utilities also. So that's people, if they want to do just monetarily, they can go through the fund, or you can have food drives and bring the food here. You can also come to help, carry things down if you'd like during the day. That's a couple ways. Anybody else think?
I would just maybe recommend connecting with Emma after or during the meeting, and she might be able to help think about ways to partner on that.
Yeah, and then just one other thing, besides food, hygiene products are so needed, deodorant, soap, all of that is really needed. Even people have been bringing in diapers even. So all of those daily needed things
And,
besides food.
and pet food too.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about our furry friends.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, we do have something called the TFAP program, and it's run through the county. And that's once a month, and we take food to the summit, and we give away food there. And there are other locations throughout Wayne County that do other days. However, that was not enough. Open Door Ministry, every Thursday, they pack food. They're at maximum with 200 families. Salvation Army, they're at maximum. So the other organizations that we called are at maximum. And a lot of this is, we didn't do a big press release because people are finding this via word of mouth. One lady talked about going to a food bank, and she got all the way to the front of the line, and they didn't have anything left. And they told her about Canton Township, so she came here. So word of mouth is definitely spreading and getting it here. I know that, I know Detroit has some areas, and also Wayne County said that they're going to start, I think, next week, some food banks. This has been going well, and we were going to kind of reevaluate, at the end of the month and see where we are. But people, there's definitely a need, even though the SNAP benefits have come back. Michael?
Second question was, what does a family or an individual have to do to qualify or participate? That's what's really cool. Nothing. Just show up.
Yeah, some places you do have to qualify, but you don't here.
Thank you so much.
But we, definitely work with Emma. All right, any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. All right, G11, consider approving the purchase of a mobile modular shoot house from Contact Industries.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve the purchase of a mobile modular shoot house from Contact Industries in the amount of $60,321.13, utilizing budgeted continuing professional education funds from the state of Michigan's pilot training program.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. The Police Department is requesting to purchase a mobile modular shoot house from Contact Industries to be used for training scenarios at the range. This modular unit is designed to provide realistic training with the use of munitions and other non-living fire training scenarios. The cost for the modular scenario set is $60,321.13. Funds from the State of Michigan Continuing Professional Education Pilot Program will be used for this qualifying purchase. I think also we have online, Mr. Biley, would you like to comment?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor, and thank you, Board, for your consideration of this topic. The modular walls that we're replacing down at the range are a little over 20 years old. And so when you look at our budget, when we talk about needs versus wants, this is certainly a need for us because of the dilapidated shape the walls are in. Additionally, this aligns with our 5-year strategic plan. Specifically, goal four is to improve the efficiency of police services. And we're doing that through enhancing equipment. And so these modular walls are going to be leaps and bounds above what we have right now. And this will create a safer environment for our officers to be able to train in.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you want to add anything?
Just like to add that these funds are coming from the Michigan Commission of Law Enforcement Standards. It's a grant that they've given all the police departments throughout the state of Michigan to enhance our training. And so this is very appreciative from them, and it will help us move on to some more modern day scenarios that we can utilize to keep our officers safe and the public safe.
YAC team have any questions? No? Any questions or comments from the board? All right, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Item G12, consider amendment to the service agreement with the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve and authorize the Township Supervisor to sign the amended agreement with the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. 2024, Canton Township entered into a service agreement with the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities. The service agreement with the partnership, valued at $225,000 annually, outlines the roles, responsibilities, cost-sharing, and revenue-sharing arrangements for providing events and activities aimed at growing the arts community. This relationship has proven highly beneficial in supporting economic development, especially in Cherry Hill Village. To further build on this success and continue its growth, Canton Township and the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities wish to amend the service agreement to include an arts program coordinator. The term of this amendment would run concurrently with the existing service agreement. The arts program coordinator will be employed by the partnership, who will be responsible for all compensation, benefits, and workers' compensation insurance if applicable. Canton will increase its annual allocation to the service agreement by $18,000, bringing the total contribution to $243,000. The partnership will also contribute $15,000 annually toward the position, with annual adjustments in accordance with their wage structure. A proposed addendum to the existing agreement has been drafted and is under legal review, outlining these terms. Director LaFever, do you want to add anything?
Just that I know we're all very well aware of the success that Kevin Ryan has had with the programming, and now Christina Wilson helping with a lot of the business activity there. So this was a great opportunity. We had some changes in some of the part-time staffing that supports that programming. And so in talking with the theater staff and the partnership organization, this is a wonderful opportunity to help expand that programming and meet the needs of both organizations. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Madam Supervisor, as I am on the board of the Partnership for the Arts, I would like to recuse myself from this RBA.
I will make that motion to recuse trustee Ganguly for the purposes of this item.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Foster. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Does our YAC team have any questions on this?
Yep, we got to vote on the motion if there's no comment.
Questions or comments? Kate?
Yes, so a while ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I saw an arts coordinator position advertised by the township. Is this the same one, or?
So there actually it is quite confusing. There are actually a few positions that we have going on. So we had a few positions freed up due to some part-time staff turnover within a few months of each other. And so it allowed us to reassess those positions. So we came up with an arts program coordinator, fine arts coordinator, which oversees the galleries at both the Village Theater and the Arts Warehouse, which I know you're very familiar with, as well as an operations coordinator, which will oversee the box office at the theater. So each one of those positions you've likely seen posted. They've gone through interviews on those positions and made offers for those. So we have started a couple of those positions at the theater. The other position will be employed by the partnership, and that person has not started with us yet, with Canton. But the partnership may have hired somebody with their position at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Does our YAC team have any questions? No? Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G13, consider approval of a purchase order for the Cherry Hill Village Factory Building furniture.
Madam Supervisor, I move to waive the bidding process and approve a purchase order for the furniture needs at the historic Ford Factory Building to be supplied by Gardner White Furniture for a total amount not to exceed $71,601.
Support.
Made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Tanya. Trustee Tanya, did you? I couldn't. Okay, Trustee Kingouli, all right. The historic factory building located in Cherry Hill Village is undergoing construction to renovate it into a community center. As part of the interior development, community development staff members have been engaged with Gardner White's Business and Design Services team. Gardner White offers a nonprofit partnership program designed to help organizations make it a meaningful impact on their communities and access high-quality furniture. This program provides eligible partners with up to 40% off regular retail pricing. Representatives from each organization have collaborated to select furnishings that are both durable and tailored to complement the unique spaces being created within the factory building. As a result of this unique partnership and opportunity, Community Development requests that the bid process be waived and recommends approval of a purchase order in the amount of $71,601 to Gardner White Furniture. Director LaFever, do you want to add anything?
Just that I know everyone's getting excited for the factory building to be completed, hopefully. It's coming quickly within the next few months. So this is another big step in that process, hopefully. Nobody included the proposal within the packet, so I hope that everybody got a chance to check out what Gardner White is proposing and the furniture items. It's exciting to see what they have tailored to what the building will serve. So it was a very positive experience to go through that with them and to customize the furniture pieces that will hopefully help us realize the vision that we have for the satellite community center out in the village that will bring so much activity to that area. So with that, again, happy to take any questions.
Any questions? No? And this is great because Gardner White has been a great partner for this, just like IKEA is with the Summit Furniture. And
Absolutely.
questions or comments?
I was gonna make a joke about the Gardner White jingle, but I'm just gonna let that one pass. And my only hope is when it's operational, and TR kind of has its own home. My hope is that the Buddies program can still come to the administrative building every once in a while, or if not, that we allow us to go over there for field trips
Of course.
periodically.
They like popcorn.
All right, oh, and my dog Teddy. So yeah,
You'll have to make some visits.
I'll make some visits then.
Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. G14, consider approval of Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director position to the non-union classified employee wage scale.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve the addition of the Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director position to the non-union classified employee wage scale at grade 220.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. The Leisure Services and Community Development Department is now under the leadership of one director. Given the scope of responsibility within the department, there is a need to have a deputy director who will work as the lead administrator for the department. This position will be responsible for managing budgets, working closely with staff to formulate departmental policies, and evaluating operations, programs, and services of the department. The Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director position factored at grade 220. The position will be classified as exempt. A request is being made to approve the Leisure Services and Community Development Director position at grade 220 on the non-union classified employee wage scale. Director Rochelle, do you have anything to add? This went through the merit already, right?
Yes, this has already gone to the Merit Commission, and this is their recommendation to the board. Certainly, this is a continuation of the series of RBAs that have been brought forward as we continue to restructure this particular department. Happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you. No questions back there? Okay, any questions from the board? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. So for this,
Okay. Madam Supervisor. Wait, do you want to list the title?
oh, go ahead. Did you already do it? No, go ahead.
All right. For item G15, consider the approval of the Supervisor's Office Executive Assistant position to the non-union classified employee merit wage scale. Madam Supervisor, I move to approve the Executive Assistant Supervisor's Office position at grade 207 on the non-union classified employee wage scale and take all appropriate steps to implement the new position and approve the required budget amendment.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Trustee Ansari. Okay. The Supervisor's Office is a central hub for the 100,000 residents of Canton Township and all internal service needs. The volume of information that is received, analyzed, processed, and distributed in and out of the office daily is great. Most of the information is sensitive in nature and may pertain to multiple union groups and requires a great level of confidentiality. As a result of the needs of the supervisor's office regarding the volume of work and operational efficiency, an executive assistant position is being created. This position will work directly with the township supervisor and township deputy supervisor on an array of administrative duties. The position is factored at grade 207 and is classified as non-exempt. A request is being made to approve the position of executive assistant supervisor's office at grade 207 on the non-union classified employee wage scale. Director Howell, do you have anything to add?
Again, this has already gone to the Merit Commission, and this is their recommendation. This position would be of great help to the supervisor's office with all of the things that flow through and certainly needed.
Questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Oh, wait, I have
Amara?
Close.
what was the salary for this position? I think I missed that.
So it's grade 207, which is our executive, which is where the executive position is. I can get you the actual
I
salary
think the
range.
scales on the packet too, if you want to look at the whole thing.
So step one of this position is $60,158 as the executive assistant.
Thank you.
Questions or comments?
But this position is only increasing, the implication to the budget is only $6,100, right? Correct. As finance analyzed the position, the budget increase necessary is only $6,100 as the budget amendment. Okay.
Questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Item G16, consider approval of social media and marketing coordinator position to the non-union classified employee merit wage scale.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve the addition of the social media and marketing coordinator position to the non-union classified employee wage scale at grade 210.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. Township's approach to social media has not historically been centralized. However, with the number of social media platforms available and the need to have uniformity, the township has elected to solve this matter with the creation of the social media and marketing coordinator position in the communications division. A job analysis questionnaire was evaluated by Management Advisory Group MAG, and the position factored at grade 210. If approved, the social media and marketing coordinator position will be classified as exempt and placed on the non-union classified employee wage scale at grade 210. I'm sorry, my things are not moving. The total salary and fringes of this position is approximately $111,000. The 2026 budget will be adopted with a net increase in wages and fringes of approximately $86,000, with a reduction in part-time wages offsetting the overall cost increase. Director Rochelle, do you want to add anything?
Again, this went to the Merit Commission. I know the Communications Division is really excited about this position and the potential of being able to centralize all of the social media platforms that the township has to have a uniform and centralized messaging and adoption of being able to put out information in a way that is concise and uniform to the township. Questions?
Want to mention, we had a study session some time ago, a few months back, more than a few months ago, regarding this. And I know at that time, the position was part-time, and they were talking about full-time. And my impression from, myself anyways, was we didn't need a full-time position at that time. So I don't quite understand why suddenly
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about creation of multiple new positions, not just now, but over the past couple of years. So I am sort of wavering on this. I don't know where I'm at right now, and I know I have to vote in like a moment.
Tanya?
I also have the similar concern as Treasurer Slavin said, because I remember when we had the study session, we were told that this would be like a, part-time position. I don't know how that evolved into a full-time. Is that something, that decision was made? Because the implications on the budget here is quite a lot.
So anyone else? Michael?
Not to dogpile, but I don't believe this is a wise use of $80,000. And so I thought there was a lot of wisdom in holding off on creating this position. I also have some concerns about that as well.
So Canton is a large township. We have a part-time social media person right now. We did have a presentation of our marketing department probably about 6 months ago. They came in and talked about making this a full-time social media position. We also talked about succession planning. Right now, we have an aging population of employees, and so succession planning also takes this position and moves it into a spot to be able to move right into a position for some of the people that may be retiring in the next 2 or 3 years. But social media, I know, is a full-time position and something that we do frequently. And she also, will be able to watch what's happening out there and help us with some of the messaging that we're putting out and anything with informing people what's going on. Summer, what are your thoughts? I know you work with a full-time.
Yeah, I'll say that I can see the value in having a full-time social media person. I think in a township of 100,000 people, a piece of feedback that we consistently hear from members of the community is they want more communication and not less. To the point that Trustee Borninski made, wavering a little bit just because of where we are economically right now, and wondering, is this a sustainable position? But I do believe that communications and communicating on social media needs to be a two-way conversation and not just putting information out there on social media for people to get. I think you have to communicate with them in both ways, and I don't think you can do that successfully part-time.
Yeah, I think what makes this okay, I guess, is the succession planning part for me. Knowing that the structure of the communications department might change in a couple of years and that we're trying to accommodate for that. I feel a little easier because of that. I would also like to see, more youth engagement when it comes to social media. I think right now our biggest sort of platform is Facebook. We could be on other platforms, even engaging Yak. There's a lot more that we can do to engage not just, our established residents, but also our newer residents and our residents who are growing up in Canton. So I would like to make that an emphasis of this new position as part and parcel of that succession planning piece.
I have a couple more comments based on what was discussed right now. I agree, like I concur with Summer that we need a full-time position. We definitely need a full-time position because I feel that we are just doing all our communication through Facebook right now, as Amara said. And I think we could engage in a lot other platforms and have a communication with the people like we are rather than because we primarily put our communications team primarily puts their focus on the focus newsletter, and that is basically going to people probably over 40 or 50 years old and not on the youth or younger people in the community who mostly rely on information on social media. I would also like to add that I have seen in the last few months our social media is the posts coming out are quite consistent and more improved. And based on the understanding that this is going to be a succession planning, I'm still a little bit concerned, but based on the understanding that this is going to improve the communication, I might vote on it.
Sorry, did you?
Yeah, I'll just, do a walkthrough in my mind, communications since my time. I may start at the township in 2016. On Saturday will be my 9th year as a full-time employee of Canton Township. When I came into the township, there was no communications department. There was a communications manager that it was a part-time position. It was part-time in the sense that that individual also did economic development. On top of that, you had a decentralized communications spread throughout the organization. In that time, we decoupled that position, giving it the communications as its sole responsibility. We created a communications department, and we also took one of our communications employees who was doing the DDA part-time and made them a full-time communications individual. So while I agree with everyone about the job that needs to be done regarding social media, I do not necessarily agree that it requires additional FTE, and especially if we have, long-term financial sustainability concerns. We have slowing down of economic growth, slowing down of development, that will put budgetary pressure on the community. If we are creating positions, I don't know, again, that I would personally see this as the most ideal location to spend money that is currently unbudgeted.
Money unbudgeted, I believe it. Okay. So I think, did someone else want to say? I think we've talked about succession planning a lot in what we're doing, and I know that we've had a number of retirees over the many years, and I think that bringing younger people in, which our current person is, bringing them up into this organization is important. I know that when we've lost people due to retirement and we haven't had someone behind them, it's left a hole. I mean, we're seeing that right now with, leisure services. We've kind of brought that back together, and we've spent the summer kind of struggling with a death and things like that. So I think bringing younger people up, which this part-time person is right now, is important, and help fill the holes in what we have and help in the office. She's done a great job part-time, but we do not cover all the social media platforms at all.
Just to share with you as well, part of the responsibility of this position in terms of the growth, speaking to Trustee Ansar's part, is growing the online audience and engaging residents and partner agencies. So I think that this position has been slated to try to grow that engagement with a larger population and audience of the township.
Yeah, thank you for that, Director. And I appreciated the mention of that in the description. I think I was just trying to be more explicit about the involvement of our youth within this process, and also to make sure that, we're growing not just in the number of audience members, but also making sure that we're intentional across various platforms. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, all these other, and God knows what else, you know, I'm a millennial, I stopped there, so, you know, I don't know what else these kids are doing. We'll find out, but, you know, I just want to make sure we're covering all our
We're gonna
bases.
find out.
Definitely, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye, nay.
Okay, so maybe we need to do a roll call. How many, how many voices? How many ayes?
Aye.
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 How many nays?
Nay.
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 It was a nay.
Okay, so down 4-3. Okay, the last item
Do
is,
you want to say whether the motion passed or not?
oh, I'm sorry, the motion did not pass.
Motion fails 4-3.
4-3. Item G17, consider approval of a 3% across-the-board wage increase for merit full-time non-union employees and elected officials for the 2026 fiscal year.
Madam Supervisor, I move to approve a 3% across-the-board wage scale increase for merit employees and elected officials for the 2026 fiscal year, the coupling of the part-time salaries of the 4 trustees with the annual merit increase and resolutions 2025-42, resolution 2025-43, resolution 2025-44, and resolution 2025-45.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. This RBA is intended to address wage increases for merit employees and elected officials in 2026. Merit employees and full-time elected officials will receive step increases as applicable in 26. Merit employees. At the Merit Commission meeting held on October 27, 2025, a proposed 3% wage increase was recommended for approval by the Merit Commission. Under Ordinance 85, the wages and benefits of classified employees shall be recommended by the Merit Commission, but shall not take effect until approved by the Township Board. Elected officials. The part-time salaries for the 4 trustees of Canton Township were adjusted beginning January 1st, 2025, due to their wage adjustments averaging less than 1% annually over the previous 14 years. In an effort to ensure that part-time salaries of the 4 trustees remain consistent with the cost of living, a request is being made to couple the part-time salary increases of the 4 trustees with the merit annual increase. For fiscal year 26, this would be a 3% increase, resulting in a part-time salary of $20,446. Salary increases for the full-time elected officials follow the annual merit increase. An approved 3% increase in salary for the full-time elected officials beginning January 1st will result in the following salaries. Treasurer, $145,154, which is on the grade scale 223, step 4. Clerk, $145,154 for grade 223, step 4. Supervisor, $155,179, grade 2023, step 6. Director Rochelle, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything additional. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments?
Sort of.
Oh, okay.
So as a trustee, I'll note that this would give each trustee about $600 more per year. And I haven't calculated how much it would be for the full-time electeds, but having just voted no on creating a full-time position, which would be a wage increase as well, I am not comfortable voting yes on this one.
All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Passes. Okay, now we have time for additional public comment. Anyone in the room for additional public comment? Okay, thank you. Online, any attendee, we have a guest. Any want to raise your hand if you want to give public comment? Administrative comments. We'll start, Patrick or Zach, do you have any comments? Victor?
Just a reminder that as we're getting closer to the end of the year and into the holidays, I want to, as always, remind everybody to be very mindful of what they do in terms of their cyber hygiene. I know quite a lot of people will be seeing a lot of discount and all kind of gimmicks. Be mindful of what you click on. There's quite a lot of there's a rise in cybercrime, particularly in our community. Just want to, encourage everybody to practice safe surfing and make sure that what you're looking at is real. Whenever it looks too good to be true, just don't click. And more importantly, when you click, once you've clicked and you notice that something is wrong, it's very, very important that you notify IT right away. Very important. Time is of essence. Once you notice that something has happened, bring it to the attention of IT immediately. Thank you.
John?
Be remiss if I didn't mention our Winter Wonderland Walk this Saturday. I know several of you are participating in our parade at 4 p.m., so we look forward to seeing everybody here in Heritage Park this Saturday at 4 o'clock, and then the holiday lights will stay on from Saturday on through New Year's. So come on out and check out Heritage Park. Our park staff have been working very diligently to light up the park, and it will be very festive. So we look forward to that.
Thank you. Rochelle?
Additional comment, thank you.
Ed?
I have nothing additional, thanks.
Amara?
I want to copy you, but I'll just say nothing else.
I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, since I believe we're going to be not here next week. We're going to be celebrating with our families. So I hope everyone has a happy one. And also, I thought I'd mention that I learned something today, and that is the word simunitions.
Diane?
Thank you. Hope everyone had a good Veterans Day and was able to get out and thank our veterans. And then hopefully everyone has a good Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving. We look forward to the parade on Saturday and the lights. I know when my family comes into town over the holidays, we like to walk around the pond and enjoy those lights. They're beautiful. And lastly, we now have a drive-up drop box for residents who want to make payments, water or tax bills. It's in the parking lot, so if you don't want to come in the building, either to use a drop box or come inside, you can drive up and drop it off, and you won't have to use a stamp. So it's safe, secure, so I hope people start to use it. Thank you.
Sorry, Joe Biley, do you have any questions or any comments?
As the holiday season approaches, it just reminds me it's a good time to spend quality time with your friends and family. And as you're out shopping, as we all do, preparing for the holidays, just be a little patient. It gets busy. We all know that does. Our big box stores will begin to thrive as they always do. And so just have a little bit of extra patience and we'll all get through the holidays together.
Michael?
Well, we did not have a meeting 2 weeks ago because we had a little mini election in Canton Township, and in the Van Buren School bond proposal, we had 24% turnout, which is not too shabby for an off-year election, although that does indicate that 3 out of every 4 voters chose not to participate in that election. So step it up. Come on. On top of that, 95% of the people voted an absentee ballot. So it was a very boring day. 70 people over 13 hours. So people were, they brought books and knitted to keep themselves busy at the precinct. And turnout was only 14% in the Wayne Westland School District portion of Canton Township, and about 85% of those people voted by mail. So we had 107 people on Election Day, more people on Election Day, even if we had less overall voters. So both measures passed, not in but not in Canton Township. So the yeah, it's an interesting day, and those are elections that we can bill the school districts for calling, and we have submitted our invoices to both school districts for the purposes of those elections. It was a good dry run, and to get the team out there, and I'm as always appreciative of Connection Church for opening their doors and letting us use them as a polling location. They're always amazing.
Summer?
Thursday is Transgender Day of Remembrance. The average transgender person's lifespan is less than 30 years. And so it's a day that we can remember people whose lives have been cut short.
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone a safe Thanksgiving and holiday season. We have the annual, that John mentioned about the Christmas in the Village. It's on Saturday, December 6th.
December 6th, yep.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our annual tree lighting at that time. So come enjoy. There's a lot of activities with your family. And for the MLK Day celebration is going to be a little bit different. We are still partnering with PCCS School, but we are going to have like an art gallery. We are given a call for, I think there was a press release today about for call for artists for the MLK Day celebration, and it will be held in the Village Arts Factory. And you can submit your art by December 15th. So it's going to be a little different, but I'm looking forward to seeing the art there. That's it. Thank you.
Oh, we didn't have any boards. Oh. All right, great, thank you. We'll have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks.
I move to adjourn.
By Clerk Seeger, supported by Treasurer Slavens. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Meeting over.